everyone, welcome back to another discussion with HubTran. Today we're talking back office efficiency through technology for 2021. I have the pleasure of speaking with Josh Asbury, the Vice President of 3PL and Brokers at HubTran. Josh, thanks for taking the time today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Josh, so let's start with 3PLs and Brokerage. Like I said, you are the VP of 3PLs and Brokers there at HubTran. What should brokers and 3PLs be doing to start the year off strong in terms of implementing new technologies?
Well, I mean, as far as implementing new technologies, I mean, I always recommend that people invest in what's going to get the quickest ROI, not necessarily the highest ROI. I mean, sometimes the quickest ROI and the highest ROI overlap, and that's great. Those are the drop everything and do them type projects. Those are the unicorns, right? But unfortunately, most businesses aren't measuring key indicators so they can even glean what a technology investment would get them. So they really need to start understanding what is going to get them the best return on investment, start measuring, so they need to start figuring out what deficiencies are actually costing them. There's massive opportunity to reduce costs, like in the back office, right? And I ask our customers, like, okay, what does your back office cost? Can you measure that? Add up the salary costs of your back office team, factor in the hardware and software required to support them, include back office time spent doing other functions. Just start measuring. Understand what it's actually costing you. How many loads per day can your back office employees process? Industry average is 75. And people who've invested in technology like automation, like HubTran, they're doing 300 plus a day, right? So, how much rework is happening? So again, just start understanding what your back office is costing you, and then what needs to be fixed.
Gosh, this year has been chaotic and challenging for the industry, but I think we've overcome a lot of these challenges quite remarkably. Logistics and freight have come to the forefront of a lot of consumers' minds. We were stuck in our homes getting things delivered. The freight and logistics industry kept the economy going when the rest of it was completely shut down. And in turn, it's made demand for freight and logistics even higher. We're seeing hiring exploding in warehousing and in logistics in the last couple months. Through the volatile times of this year and through this now expansionary time, how can companies make sure they're operating efficiently through their back office operations?
Yeah, 2020 has been just such a phenomenal whiplash of a year. When COVID hit, volumes were down. People weren't sure. Companies weren't sure. Should they be hiring? Should they be how do you forecast through a pandemic? But it's been phenomenal to see our customers in the 3PL and broker space respond to this. And like you said, everybody's getting used to this new normal, and everybody's seeing how the logistics world is on the forefront of keeping our economy thriving. What's been a struggle for some of our customers, though, it has been because of this increased rate of shipments occurring. It's actually amplified bad back office processes, right? So they're doubling down on bad processes. And so, what I look at is, I say, look, if you are a leading 3PL, you need to be investing in technology and software. You need to be looking at how other supply chain leaders and back office managers are working so that you can get those same efficiencies. So what they need to be doing is looking at all their different processes. Do a process map. Understand where you're spending time in the back office. Understand. Do you have people touching an invoice 2 or 3 times? That's ridiculous. That's 2 or 3 times things should not be touched by human hands. You talk to your team to understand, what are the sources of frictions? Are they, have you done analytics to understand how error rates are occurring with different carriers? Maybe you should be doing more business with better carriers, less business with carriers that are causing big error rates, right? Understand where your team is working now. Can you get your payables team from 75 invoices per person today up to 300? So set goals for your team. But it really just comes down to, again, understand your process, measure, and then figure out, okay, what are the supply chain industry leaders doing, and try to hit those goals. Set those goals for yourself to get there.
I mean, the results are in the pudding, right? Going from 75 invoices to 300 invoices per person per day, that's a big jump. So what do you say to people that are still skeptical of the possibilities and the numerous solutions that technology can provide?
It's not to be trite, but look, if you're skeptical and you're not investing in new technology, then you're not going to be in business in 2 years. So there are some laggards still out there, but I think that with the investment that the freight tech world has seen and new technology that solves very defined problems, there's just a myriad of choices that people have to look at when it comes to making a technology investment. So, I understand the skepticism. Vendors overpromise and underdeliver every day. Or you have these mega projects where they take years to implement, and it blows up your budget, and you can't remember what the ROI equation looked like to start with. So there is having skepticism is fair, but again, kind of going back full circle. That's why I like to tell people to focus on what gets me the quickest ROI, not necessarily the most ROI. And if the two are combined, great, you're going to win. But lose the skepticism, do good due diligence on vendors, but also do good due diligence on yourself. Make sure you understand your own business, so you understand that if you make this technology investment, you're going to get a benefit from it.
It's certainly not a threat, just a fact that if you're not implementing technology, you're going to get left behind. And focus on the quickest ROI, not always the most ROI. That's a good piece of advice. Josh, I want to thank you for your time today. And everyone, stay tuned for more updates from HubTran and FreightWaves. Stay tuned to FreightWaves.com. Thanks.